feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright, echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Great to be back after the football. The football just finished. If you're watching the Thursday night football, or is it Friday night football tonight? Must be Friday night football. But if you're watching the NFL and you're watching Kansas City lose to the Chargers, well, that's what happened. A game outside of America. Pretty cool to have it in a different country, but that was fun to watch. Good to see you all back on this channel tonight. Last night on Web Sleuths Live, tonight on this channel. So that is nice to be back on my own platform tonight. If you notice, there is a show up and waiting right now. That is for Monday. That is for Aaron's sentencing on Monday. That is in the main page somewhere here. I don't know where it is, somewhere, but you'll be able to find it, and that'll be the live stream for Monday for the sentencing of Aaron Patterson. So, yeah. Oh, the Chiefs lose. Oh no. Yeah, that's exactly how it feels. But hey, tonight I got so many updates for so many different cases that we want to talk about. But I wanted to sort of talk about this one in a minute because it doesn't make any sense, and I will tell you why in a minute. But I want to say hello to people. Hey, Sean, Danny's here. Kelly H, Danny, Carolina is here. Mr. Dan Yee again. Rachel, Kathy Lynch, Andrew's here. Who else is here? Carolina, Mimi had made it. Wendy R is here. Lynn D. Hey, Lynn D. Good to see you all. Good to see you. Marjorie's here. I want to talk to you about this. I want to talk to you. What do we say on this channel? You don't have to be smart to commit crimes, right? That's Ping's #1 rule. You don't have to be smart to commit crimes or find yourself in a life sentence. So, this 23-year-old girl, her name is Mia O'Brien. She is from Liverpool in England. And her mum started a GoFundMe page. And the GoFundMe was asking for money because her daughter is serving a life sentence in Dubai. But the thing is, she won't tell you what her daughter did. All she says is that she made a mistake. Must be a pretty bad mistake to get a life sentence in Dubai. I mean, there's only a few crimes I can think of that you would get an automatic life sentence in Dubai. One of them, drug trafficking. They take a very dim view to people who bring in drugs into the country. I just have a feeling that it could be that. Now, her mother made this GoFundMe. It didn't raise very much money, and that tends to happen when you won't tell people what your daughter did. And what's odd about it is GoFundMe took it down. GoFundMe took the page down for her. I guess, is that her mom? Yes, that is her mother on the right there. That is her daughter on the left. And I looked up GoFundMe's terms and conditions because her GoFundMe was removed under this certain section of their policies. So it is here. I will show it to you. There's only some things under this policy that they will remove it for. And if I can go down to it, it's 0.9 on here. So this might give us a clue into why they removed it and what her crime might be. So if we go down to part 8, and it's part 8.9. It's not, it's part 8.10. All right. It's not that one, it's this one here. This is what they canceled the GoFundMe under, this part of their policy. They They canceled it. You can't have a GoFundMe for the legal defense of financial or violent crimes, including those related to money laundering, murder, robbery, assault, battery, sex crimes, or crimes against minors. Now, it doesn't say drug trafficking on here, but I'm guessing that might be part of it too. I looked up what it would be if you got done for prostitution in the UK and in the UK, in Dubai. I was like, well, she's a very pretty girl. Some of these girls, get the wrong ideas about how to make money, and they find themselves in a very bad situation. So, the two things I can think of, and the fact that this says sex crimes, maybe it's prostitution. Maybe they accuse her of that. But when I went and looked up the Dubai, sort of the Emirates law on prostitution, they don't give out life sentences for that. They give out pretty hefty penalties, like 5 years in jail, 3 years in jail, big fines, $100,000 fines, stuff like that. I don't see anywhere that you would get a life sentence for prostitution in Dubai. And I'm going to just double check. Yeah, like here, prostitution in the UAE is illegal. Punishments for engaging in prostitution include heavy fines and imprisonment, with foreign prostitutes typically deported from the UAE. So you would think, if that's what she got done with, that she would have been probably heavily fined and deported and told never ever to come back there. Not life in jail. So that narrows down really what we could do. And it's either she got caught up in a murder or a robbery of some sort, or she is banged up abroad. So if you don't know what Banged Up Abroad is, it's a UK show, and it's about people who smuggle drugs into other countries and end up going to jail. So yes, maybe. Maybe. So I'm thinking that it's got to be one of those two things. That's why her mum won't say what she got in trouble for. So she wrote on this GoFundMe here. I'll read it to you. She said here that her daughter Mia had made a very stupid mistake, and that she'd launched the GoFundMe because Mia has been given a life sentence over in Dubai, and she is now in central prison. She says, as you can all probably imagine, as her mother, I am absolutely devastated. I haven't seen my daughter since last October. Mia is only 23 years old and has never done a bad thing in her life. Well, it's pretty crazy to go from 0 to 100. Most people, have some sort of graduated offending, but okay. This is a young girl who went to university to do law and unfortunately got mixed up in the wrong so called friends and made a very stupid mistake and is now paying the price. She said, all I ask is that if you can donate anything you can spare, even if it's £1, it could help up massively. I would be forever grateful. Thank you so much. But it ended up getting removed. So look, it's okay for girls to dress up like this. There's no, you know, that's girls can do whatever they want. That's fine. Like, we're not in the 1920s anymore. Girls can dress however they want, and that's not a problem. But the problem is, how did she go from studying law and doing glamour photos like this to uh to being in jail for a life sentence in Dubai? Like, it's it's a bit of a step. Here you go. Here's another photo of her. There you go. For all the guys out there. There you go. There's her and her mum. I don't know. I gotta say, you can try sell us the story that your daughter is this nice girl who went to uni and is studying law. Then how did she end up in Dubai with obviously a buttload of drugs? Because someone studying the law would probably know that is a bad idea. Someone who apparently wanted to work within the legal realm would know Dubai is a place that you don't go and do that. You're better off moving coke around the UK because they're just going to kick you out of, you know, they're going to probably charge you and then let you back on the street by 5 p.m. You do it in Dubai, and this is what happened. You go to jail for a very long time. So, Kathy said, bless her heart, let's all send her some money for cigs and chocolates. An air conditioner, maybe, in Dubai. Marilander said, you would think she was aware. Yeah, you would think she was aware. Wendy asked, was she just a tourist or living there? Sounds like she was not living there. She was a tourist. Yeah, it doesn't sound good. I just I want to know what it does for the family to hide, what you've done. So here, sentencing for drug trafficking can include the death penalty, possession of even the smallest amounts of illegal drugs, including cannabis, can lead to a minimum 3 months of prison or a fine of around £4,000 and can go up to even £20,000. They say the Emirati authorities count the presence of drugs in the bloodstream as possession. And they said even herbal highs that contain CBD are illegal in the UAE. So if she really is going to have to serve this life sentence over in Dubai, I mean, I'm not sure what much of anything the UK people on the internet can really do. They sort of beat to you know, the sound of their own drum. They're not going to cave to public pressure or the UK government saying, "Hey, do you mind releasing that blonde girl? We'd like her to go home to her mum." So I don't think that would work. The only hope she has is if the UAE decide to be generous and don't want to keep looking after her in jail and they deport her. That has happened before. Their hierarchy has given people pardons before and then booted them out of the country. That has happened several times. But hey, when you go online and you ask people to fund your daughter's legal defense in Dubai, you have to give us more than, here's a pretty girl, give me some money. I think you have to tell people exactly what she did. You can't be like going, here's some glamour photos of my daughter. Look how hot she is. Send me all your money on GoFundMe. I don't think that works with people. Bees Are Life said, hey Ping, hey all, hello, good to see you. Wendy asked, it can't be too innocent if she got into that serious amount of trouble. It's a lot. I mean, I want to know what would get you a life sentence. It has to be, the only thing I can think of is drugs or murder. I mean, it's the only thing here. Dubai drug life sentence. I'm just trying to see if there is anything here. Yeah, everyone seems to be saying what we think. It's got to be drug trafficking. It's about the only thing they really go bonkers on. I mean, they will throw you in jail for having a vape. So, I mean, yeah, everyone that I can see commenting on this thinks it's the exact same thing. It has to be a drug sentence. So, I don't know what you want us to do to help your daughter. There's only so much in life that you can blame on other people, right? So she's saying she got mixed up with some bad friends. Well, it's your job in life to teach her about friends and who to hang around with. And at 23, I would have thought she'd know fucking better. Like, she's not 12, she's not 14, she's not even 16. She's 23. At what age do you stop babying her? I mean, she's an adult. You can't be like blanketing her in her binky for the rest of her life, and it's very possible that's why she ended up where she was. So she got mixed up with some bad plastic surgery. Maybe. I don't want to comment on someone's looks in regards to this. I think that's not fair. But I will comment on her actions. Um, yeah, I mean, at 23, how sorry do you want us to feel for her? I find that difficult. See, Mia is only 23 and has never done a bad thing in her life. This is a young girl who went to university to do law. I don't think adding to your sentence that she went to university to do law adds anything to your argument, because all it does is make people think that she should have known better. For someone who was, going to university to do law, they would know that the laws in the UK are a lot less strict than in Dubai. So, Jonna said she's screwed. She's going to have a rough time. Rachel said, this sounds like maybe she was smuggling for someone, maybe the money. Maybe. Uh, Marylander said, how does her mum know what she's done? I think she's had contact with her daughter. Some contact, maybe from the consulate or something like that. Michaela said, I was a single mum of 3 at 23. Got to make better choices. Sorry. Yeah. And I mean, I think there's enough information around that we all know that some of these countries, like in Asia, Dubai, the Middle East, you can't have drugs in these countries. They will execute you. Like, if you're in Bali, Australians know far too well about this type of thing. So if you grow up in Australia, most people grew up with Chappelle Corby and the people who are smuggling heroin into Indonesia. Like, we've all sort of grown up with those stories and known how screwed you are if you do that. And I know in the UK, it is very similar, that there are a lot of stories about people who have gone into other countries and tried to smuggle drugs, and it's made big headlines in the UK. So Jonas said there's a lot of prostitution and human trafficking there. There is, but when I looked it up, the punishments don't match her crime. And they say here most foreign prostitutes are typically deported. So if they find you, they just typically boot you out the country, not throw you in jail for a life sentence. So Kathy said, I sure didn't look like that at 23. Wow. Gail said there's also prescription meds that you can't take over there. There's a lot of things you can't do over there. You can't like have sexual contact, you can't kiss people, you can't do all sorts of things. There was a kid that was jailed last year for having sex with a girl he met on holiday, and he was jailed because the mother of the girl he slept with, when she got back to the UK, she dobbed him in to authorities in the UAE, and he ended up going to jail for it, for hooking up with a girl. And the mum was just so upset. It takes two to tango most times, unless it is a crime. The fact that this mum was so butthurt that her daughter had done that, that she would call up to get the young man put in jail, is pretty gross. Kathy said, will her beauty work for her or against her? I don't know. I don't know. Pretty white girl in a prison in Dubai. I don't know if she's going to have a fun time or not. Depends what she counts as fun. She may like it, she may not. It says here, it is not known what crime Miss McKenna has been convicted of, but life sentences in the Emirates can be given in cases of drug trafficking, depending on circumstances and the amount of drugs. That's the thing. It would have to have been a lot of drugs. Like, we're not talking about a gram of coke. Like, we're talking like half a kilo of coke or something like that, a few hundred grams or something. So yeah. You went to Bali in the late 90s. There were signs in the airport advising of death penalty for drug smuggling. Yeah. Jonas said the thing with Dubai is it looks new, clean, and modern, but it can be deceiving. People can think they're in a much different country. That is true. Hendry says her beauty will dissolve within 6 months to a year. Well, she's not going to get her makeup and stuff that they use. Penguin said, "Hello, Pinksters. I was worrying over someone who said she'd be here 5 hours ago. Lost track of the show." Okay, okay. Thanks, Penguin. All right. All right. Let's move on from that. I just wanted to show it to you because I don't think I've ever heard of someone asking for money for, help with a son or daughter overseas, but won't tell everyone what they did, as if it's somehow better to try and keep it under wraps. I think it would be better if you just told everyone and didn't try to, hide it. I think it would be in your best interest to let people know. Kathy said, remember the case where the girl claimed to be too beautiful for jail? She should have tried that defense. Maybe it would have worked. All right. I want to take you out to WTAE in Virginia because we've had some updates in the Renesmay murder investigation, and it's getting weirder by the minute. Weirder, much weirder. All right, here we go.
The other caregiver, the legal custodian for
Wait,
Renesmay
hold on,
UC.
guys. Wait, why are we got... Guys, hold on. There's something going on with the audio. Give me a sec. No, that should be right. Hold on.
Sarah Shipley, she overdosed inside of her home on 3rd Street. It's just up the way here in Dunbar, and she is alive, according to the other caregiver, the legal custodian for Renesmay UC, Sarah Shipley. She overdosed inside of her home on 3rd Street. It's just up the way here in Dunbar, and she is alive, according to Fayette County District Attorney Michael Abel. Now, Shipley, while being mentioned numerous times throughout the criminal complaint for Courtney Utsi, and while she faces those charges, Shipley has not been charged yet. However, Abel did say to me throughout the day today and yesterday that additional charges could be coming in this case, guys.
Wait, hold on. They said on here she has not been charged. Well, no, she has been charged. A second person is now charged in the connection with the death of the 9-year-old Renesmay. They say Sarah Ann Shipley is charged with homicide, according to the DA. They say an online docket also lists charges of conspiracy, endangering welfare of children, aggravated assault, abuse of corpse, and tamper with / fabricate physical evidence. She is currently receiving treatment at a hospital. Once released, she will be immediately transported to her arraignment. So this was the second adult in the home. They're saying that she OD'd in a home in Dunbar Township on Friday morning. So yeah, it's Pittsburgh, PA. They're saying here she's been charged with numerous offenses. This is her docket, online docket, electronic filing here, and endangering welfare of children, conspiracy, criminal homicide, and then criminal homicide. So, you know, it just gets stranger by the minute. It really does. This poor little girl, and here, I'm going to play this. This is from the birth mother, the biological mum. She's the one who was posting online the night that we first covered it the other day, and now she's done an interview for Action News 4 in Pittsburgh.
The caregivers that Kelly mentioned, Courtney and Sarah Shipley, they are, while also the legal guardians of Renesmay, they're also related to the biological family of Renesmay. And that family, according to the mother, Christina Benedetto, the biological mother, she was working on a custody agreement to try and see Renesmay and her other kids more often. Now that family is devastated to know that that won't happen for Renesmay.
It hurts. I'm torn apart inside. I can't have my baby back. Not the way I wanted her.
Who you just heard from there was Renesmay's biological grandmother. She helped raise Renesmay with Christina Benedetto, her biological mom. After Christina became addicted to drugs when she was in her early 20s, she gave Renesmay and her other children's guardianship over to Sarah Shipley and Courtney Utsi. After Renesmay's death this week, several family members are coming together to not just grieve tonight, but to be Renesmay's voice going forward.
So, for people who are asking, the woman who OD'd, her last name is Shipley. She is the partner of Courtney. Courtney is the one who was arrested the other day. She is the adoptive parent of Renesmay. They sort of both were. They were in a relationship. So, um, now the other half of that partnership has tried to OD, knowing what a very terrible situation she has got herself into in the death of this little girl. So yeah, as you can heard in that video, the the biological mum gave up parental rights to her children and gave them to a family member, and those family members are the ones who killed Renesmay and are now charged with that crime. So yeah, well, adoptive's the words they've been using. I don't know what you want me to do about that, but that's what they've been listing it in the you know, in the articles. I mean, I can't tell you any different. That's just what that's the word they've been using. So, I mean, I don't know what you want me to do about it. I can write to them and send them an angry letter. That's what I can do.
I just want my daughter to have what she is supposed to have, what she should have had while she was on Earth. And I will forever be grateful to every single person who is screaming justice for my Renesmay. And they kept her from me. They lied to me. There will never be closure.
And you can see trying to be Renesmay's voice is even shown here on the vehicles of those loved ones. Justice for Renesmay and other messages on many vehicles here tonight at the Candlelight Vigil, which is going to start at 6 o'clock here in Dunbar. We'll have a report from that tonight from Jordan Siopa at 11. Covering Fayette County in Dunbar Township, Ed Diorio, Pittsburgh's Action News.
Here, I'll read out what it says here. Sarah Shipley was the court-ordered custodian of Renesmay. Courtney Yutzi was the live-in caretaker in a relationship with Miss Shipley. Miss Yutzi had adopted at least one of the other children in the household. Together, Yutzi and Shipley were in a relationship in which the children referred to Courtney as mum and Sarah as dad. Okay. Why would they both not be referred to as mom? I've seen that before. I don't know why. Okay. Yutzi is facing multiple charges, including criminal homicide, aggravated assault, and concealing the death of a child. They say here, we will continue to gather evidence, we will continue to build our case, and if necessary, we will be filing additional charges against additional people. So there you go. It gets weirder by the minute. Dumping her in a river. It's letting the children of the home be the ones to tell police what had happened. Also tonight, in the local area, they had a memorial for her, a candlelight vigil. So I want to show you some of that because I want to show you what they set up for her because I think that's awesome when the community comes out and tries to show their strength as one, sort of unit and against people who commit these types of crimes. So here.
Together for an evening dedicated to honoring Renesmay, whose life was taken far too soon at just 9 years old. Pastor Samantha Corbin says the service will be co-hosted by Peach and Community Chapel and New Life Fellowship. The hope is for mourners to find comfort through prayer, song, and moments of silence. The pastors plan to light candles and sing Sunday school songs like Jesus Loves Me. She says tonight will be a reminder that there is hope in this tragic time.
It has really rocked us, I think. The fact that this could happen in our neighborhood to our neighbors, and none of us were aware of that, has really sort of been eye-opening.
And there will be a second candlelight vigil Saturday at 7 at the Dunbar Community Playground. Covering Fayette County in Dunbar, I'm Jordan.
So 2 candlelight vigils, one happened tonight, and there will be another one tomorrow night in Dunbar. So if you are in the local area, show your support for that little girl and go to the memorial and light a candle for her. That would be very kind of you. Michaela said she OD'd last night but failed. Yeah, she tried to. Yeah, exactly what that says. Rachel said the system failed this poor little girl. I hope the other kids in the house are safe and getting care. Yes, they were placed into homing arrangements the night that they were taken out of the house. So they have already been placed into other homes in the area. So they are being well looked after already. So yeah, tell us about the puppy. But yeah, I mean, it gets stranger by the minute. It really does. You know, first we heard there was a missing girl, then we heard she was never missing at all, then we heard she was friggin' in a river, and now we hear that the other person in the household tried to leave this world and run away from her responsibilities and her actions of what happened to this little girl. And she tried to take the coward's way out. So that's all I can tell her. She is a coward. So, you know, you do that after you hurt a little girl. That is the only thing we can call you. You are a coward. They say here the loved ones of Renesmay still don't believe what happened to the 9-year-old girl. Christina, who is the biological mother, said they were abused and tortured. It's not just abuse. What they did was torture. Linda Miller, Renesmay's biological grandmother, says, it hurts. I'm torn up inside. I can't have my baby back. So Yutzi was Renesmay's in-home caregiver. Sarah Shipley, who is also mentioned numerous times throughout the criminal complaint, is Renesmay's legal custodian. Sarah Shipley is my blood cousin, according to the birth mother. Courtney is Courtney is Renesmay's biological father's blood cousin. Sure, yes. There's a lot of family intertwining going on here. The birth mother gave birth to Renesmay when she was just 16 years old. She and Miller raised the girl until she was 5, after which she became addicted to drugs and she gave legal guardianship to Shipley and Yutzi. She says, it was the hardest decision of my life. At that point, I wasn't a safe place for the children. CYS said it was best to give Sarah and Courtney guardianship. They swore to me that they would be safe in her care. CYS not only failed my daughter, but also my 3 other children who were in that home. They're saying that the birth mother has now controlled her drug issues and said that she was working on seeing her daughter and her 3 other children more often. She said the plan was always for them to come back. Sarah knew that. We were starting to talk about a custody agreement where I was going to be in the kids' lives. Sarah stopped answering me. She would only answer me when she needed money or when it was time to get the kids gifts. So they sound like great people. They sound like absolute trash bags. The fact that they started ignoring the birth mother and would only get to her or talk to her when they wanted something shows you who they are. No, I don't think we've heard much from the father. I have not heard much from the biological dad. Not really. No. Hear from the grandmother and the mother, but not the father. Gayla said 4 kids at 25. Hey, I mean, some people do that. Danny said I was in a bad place, so I kept having kids. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that happened, and I don't know why condoms weren't a thing. You know, you can get them free at most planning clinics or places like that. I don't know. I can't explain why she had all these children. That's for her to talk about. I got no idea. All I can tell you is that it happened. Yeah, so at the same time, I think we should all at least show that she tried to get back into the kids' lives. She got clean of the drugs. tried to get her life back on track, and then wanted to have a relationship with them. So, I mean, isn't that what we ask of people? We ask people if they make a mistake in their lives and go off, you know, the good path in life, that if they can overcome their barriers and issues and they come back to the other side, that we give them a second chance. So that's what this lady should have had. She should have had a second chance with her children, and she's not going to get that. So, well, I don't know how long she's been off drugs, but they said a while. So I don't know how long that is. If she's 25 now and that she was 16 when she was on the drugs, I don't know. It doesn't tell me how long she was on or off them. But look, people have made worse decisions. They've made decisions to keep the children in the home while they do the drugs, and then they abandon the children when they go and get high, and then the children's die from, you know, in the home or from neglect or something. Yeah. Can you put a child pic and a mum pic together? I don't know if we can. I could probably find one that has the both of them. Her name is Christina Benedetto. Let me find if I can find a picture of her and Renesmay together. I don't think I have one of them both together. But I have one of the, are these the people that hurt the little child? Yeah. Here's a photo of the two that have been arrested. This is Courtney, I'm pretty sure. And this must be Shipley here on the other side. And here's a bunch of the children. Renesmay is on the left-hand side here. So there's a family photo for you. Blaze says she tried to get out by overdose, makes her look more guilty. Yeah, this is true. That's the woman in the family. Yeah, very fertile. Teresa. Hey, Teresa. Don't believe anything she says. I heard that some people consider that she is not trustworthy. There was some Facebook evidence that was sent to me. It showed a back history of lying, making stuff up, interpersonal disputes with people, but I can't verify it. I was sent it by someone, but that was from her Facebook page that I know that she has. Rachel said, I just wish the system would work better to protect these kids. Who was visiting? Who from CYS was actually coming over and checking on the children? Was anyone ever? To have this many children with a couple of people under, you know, pretty fast circumstances, where was the visits from CYS to check on them all the time to make sure that they were coping or whatever? Not saying that they did. That's the reason why Renesmay died, but there should be at least visits to make sure when you place children, this many children, in a home of someone who, like this, why was there no checking on them? Not for the sake of the parents, even, but for the children. So. Michaela said Biomom and Grandma were arrested for child endangerment for more reasons than just drugs. I give more grace to the Biomom than the Grandma. Poor kids have been failed for their whole lives. Yes, that is probably true. SP Mama said I should have 10 kids, but never could, hardly at 44 with 3 and 1 medical intervention. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Looks similar to Summer Wells, sort of, right? Sort of looks like Summer a little bit. Danny says CYS sucks. They do. Yeah, a little bit. CYS and CPS, same issues. Yep. Exactly. Where were the home visits? That little girl looks sick. Yeah, what's with the head bandana trying to cover her hair? Like, I know that's a cute thing sometimes you do with little kids, but it's almost like they wanted to take a photo but didn't want a lasting reminder of whatever was going on with her hair. So, Wendy asked it, are CYS also relatives? Maybe they were turning a blind eye. I don't know if CYS were related to them. I don't have that information. Possibly small town, it could be. But yeah, I want to. Yeah, so they said originally on Friday when they found Shipley overdosed inside that Dunbar home, they said that she wasn't facing any criminal charges. Within a few hours, that changed and they charged her with the same and more charges than Yutzi. So there you go. Pretty horrific, if you ask me, all around. Custodial parents dead over. What? Sorry. That sentence reads really poorly. They said, custodial guardian of Fayette County 9-year-old found dead overdosed inside home. When I read that to you, what does that sound like to you? If I say it again, custodial guardian of Fayette County 9-year-old found dead overdosed inside home. If I read you that sentence, what would you take from it? I would take from it that it sounds like that the custodial guardian died from an overdose. But that's not what it is. It's custodial guardian of Fayette County 9-year-old found dead, comma, overdosed inside of home. So they're saying that it's just the home where the 9-year-old lived when she died. Here, I want to find some more stuff about Shipley. Here, let me go here. Shipley. Yeah, second woman charged and custodial. I wanted to find more about what happened after the other night. All right, here, let's play this one. I don't know if this is the same one we watched, but it might have more info.
The other caregiver, the legal custodian.
Yeah, we watched that one. All right. Let me go to my Facebook. I want to grab a message. All right. Yeah, it seems like there's a few people who are following the whole Renesmay thing on Facebook. I just wanted to see if anyone had an update on Shipley. So, Shipley's being held without bond. It looks like that she'll be arraigned at some point. Well, she's being held right now. She hasn't had her arraignment as of yet, but guessing when she gets arraigned, that she'll be held without bond. Let's see, Pennsylvania police. All right, I'm not seeing too much more, but I would say that there is a long history between these two people and then the two people who were custodial guardians of Renesmay. There's a long history of infighting, random crap between the four of them, and it's all documented on Facebook. Diane Marie said punctuation is important. That's right. I know, it just reads poorly. Yeah, I know. It's supposed to be like it's just the home where the 9-year-old lived when she died. That's what they're trying to say. Okay. All right. Mum doesn't look clean to me. I mean, I'm guessing she is getting tested at some point for they probably test them so often. I don't know, but she's saying she's clean. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. All right. That's all I have on this one. That's the big update, is that they have now arrested that second person or second adult that was inside the home. I've given you the charges that we know about now, like this: criminal homicide, endangering the welfare of children. Here's the other docket filing, and there, Sarah Ann Shipley. That's her case docket, and Yeah, there you go. You know, it's sad that it was up to the juveniles in the home who had to tell police things like they were going to take Renesmay to a river far, far away, and then the other one was that she was never going to see her baby sister again because she was in heaven. Imagine a child having to tell a police officer that information. It's really, really horrific. These two deserve everything they get. Um, throw them in the jail. Throw away the key. I don't want to ever hear about their names ever again after this. They can go straight to jail and never be heard from again. That'd be great. All right. So there is a bit of a update for Sebastian Rogers, but I don't think it's. I don't know. There's people are saying it's really important. I think it's important to talk about him. I don't think it's an important update. Those two can be true at the same time. Here, Sebastian Rogers. Yeah, I'm going to play this video from WKRN about a week ago, and then I'm going to give you the update. Yeah.
Today marks a year and a half since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his Hendersonville home.
And since then, his father says he's had no answers from investigators. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 5. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Wilkes. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry shows us what he's doing this week to change that.
I'd like to know where Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is.
He deserves to be at home. He deserves to be around somebody that loves him.
Sebastian Rogers vanished in February 2024. Search efforts stretched across Sumner County, bringing in the TBI, FBI, and multiple local agencies. But after a little over a week, Sumner County Sheriff's Office announced they were scaling back and shifting their focus on the investigative side. Since March of last year, the Sheriff's Office hasn't held a press conference on the case. And Seth Rogers, the father of Sebastian, says his calls to investigators have gone unanswered.
They won't speak to me since I sent them an email telling them about 15 things they needed to check. And if they hadn't done it, then you haven't done your job.
A year and a half later, Seth Rogers says he still has had no answers from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and that's why he's out here today, demanding to know an update to his son's case.
Why you up there in that office? I hope you're working on finding my son, because I'm waiting.
With a microphone in hand, joined by friends and supporters holding signs reading "Justice for Sebastian," Seth says he won't stop.
I don't get to take my son hunting or fishing. I don't get to play video games with him. I don't get to play cards. I don't get to watch movies. I get nothing while you're up there in your office.
We just want Sumner County to do something different to get different results.
Even retiring Sumner County District Attorney Ray Whitley says he is anxious to see this case solved.
There is more work to be done than certainly we want to have answers at some point, and I hope and pray that we do.
But Seth says until that happens, he is not leaving. He plans to stand outside the Sumner County Sheriff's Office every day this week and for, quote, as long as it takes. He's asking for the community to join him.
Do you expect your children to be safe? Because for the last year and a half, my son isn't. And he's not doing his job to get it done.
News 2 reached out to the Sumner County Sheriff for a statement. He says this is still an active investigation and the department is continuing to follow leads in coordination with the FBI and TBI. If you have any information regarding Sebastian Rogers' whereabouts, you're asked to call the Sumner County Sheriff's Office at 615-451-3838 or...
They're so abrasive, all of them. All the people involved in this case, Seth, the other two, Proudfoot or whatever, they're so abrasive, all of them. It's like you ever watch a movie and you're like, I don't care for any of these characters in the movie, and you don't really want to finish that movie. Yeah, that's how I feel about all of the adults in this particular case. They're all abrasive. They're all like, you don't want to root for them. You don't want to anything. But Sebastian, I care about. I care about Sebastian. I want to find him. But yeah. I'm going to take you to the new FBI blog that was released on September 4. They're searching for Sebastian Rogers, and we've got some different photos of him. I don't know if I've seen these ones before, but there's some nice photos of Sebastian. And they've done a little bit of a write-up here. And it says, on February 26, 2024, Katie went to wake up her 14-year-old son for school. To her surprise, he was nowhere to be found. Shock, horror. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers had spent the previous day with his mother. The pair shopped at a department store, played video games at a bowling alley, and had dinner at a local restaurant before heading home for the evening. After returning to their home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, Katie and Sebastian prepared for bed, saying goodnight sometime between 9 and 10 p.m. Katie told us a little bit before 10 p.m. she heard a loud bang coming from Sebastian's room, so she yelled out to ask if he was okay, to which he responded that he was, and that she told him to go to bed because they had to be up early for school the next morning. Katie called her husband, who was out of town in Southwest Tennessee for work, and the two of them spoke for nearly 2 hours before she went to sleep around midnight. The next morning was the beginning of what would be a massive search effort for Sebastian. Katie called her husband and told him that she couldn't find him, that he wasn't in his room or anywhere else in the house. She says she got into her car and drove around the neighborhood and went to his school, which was less than a mile away from their home, searching for Sebastian before returning home. During this time, her husband called the local emergency communication center to report Sebastian as missing. And they sort of keep going on here about the different search areas and how many people they had out there. Look at all these agencies that helped in the search. Almost every agency you could think of. And they said the search consisted of around a 4.5 mile radius around his home. There were roughly 2,000 searchers equipped with an app tracking their movements. The searchers could also use the app to plot things on a map that they observed while they were out searching for him. And they said the total area they covered within that 4.5 mile radius was equivalent to 44,000 acres. So yeah, they covered a lot of it. And so they said here they contacted the BAU, which is the FBI Behavioral Analysis Unit, and they shared that a statistic is 50% of autistic children are prone to wander. They are also naturally drawn to bodies of water. 71% of fatal outcomes involving missing autistic children were the result of drowning, something we've picked up on this channel before. They say the information helped us to focus search efforts in and around bodies of water. The search team drained ponds and searched waterways and lakes looking for Sebastian. And they say they have followed every tip that has come into them, and that they are asking for more people to continue sending tips into them to 1-800-TBI find, or tips to TBI at tbi.tn.gov. And they're saying here that there is still a $50,000 reward on offer from the FBI if anyone has information to bring Sebastian home or leads to any type of arrest in his disappearance. So, and they're saying case rumors versus reality, the flashlight theory. Yeah, so they're saying I think that got debunked a while ago. And what else? The person in the green hoodie theory. They say law enforcement spoke with employees at the restaurant who confirmed this person in the green hoodie was a frequent customer and helped identify them. Law enforcement went to meet this person, who happened to be wearing the same green hoodie as in the video, confirmed they are not a suspect. A lot of that's not where we wanted to go. We want to go. This is a very annoying thing. Can we go like this? Okay, that's all we get. We get 2 rumors. I thought we might get more. But yeah, there you go. 2 theories in Sebastian Rogers have been disproven. The flashlight theory and the person in the green hoodie theory. Maybe we'll get the debunking of the ninja hiding in the video theory next. There's also more information Some people have been putting out that they have camera evidence of Sebastian making it to the house and confirmed that the car did not leave and no cars came and went. Dun dun dun. I don't know if this is true, but DJ sent it to me. I will try and verify it. Let me see if I can grab where that came from. I don't know where this information came from. He sent me a YouTuber, but I don't want to use them as a source. I don't know where that comes from because it's not on. Is it on this page we're on? Let's have a look. Control F camera. Let's see if we go up. Here. In addition, law enforcement searched every home in the neighborhood. Video recordings from nearby homes and a dashcam camera in Katie's car showed that Katie and Sebastian didn't leave the house after their return home from dinner, and that no other cars were seen coming or going from Katie's home during the evening and early morning hours of the night or day Sebastian disappeared. So what? Did he disappear into thin air, did he? Is that what happened? He just got abducted by aliens. Is that what you're trying to tell us? That since there was no cars that came and went and Katie's car didn't leave or do anything, that it must be an alien. An alien came with a retractor beam and abducted him out of his room. I don't understand that, because if you have cameras in the neighborhood that somehow saw all this detail, how come you can't tell us whether it captured him on any of the videos then? Because if you know that there was no cars, wouldn't you have seen him leave the property if he did? So he left on foot. How come the cameras don't pick that up then? You think we would have some evidence of that? Because if they had that, don't you think they would have released that to us, saying like, "Hey, this is him. This is the last known sighting. We know he," like, instead of having months and months and months of speculation and rumor in the YouTube and the media and the true crime world, if you had that type of video or evidence, wouldn't you give that out to the public to quell all the rumors and stuff like that? Rachel said that's interesting because I thought they didn't have cameras in the neighborhood. Apparently we able. SF was able to evade the neighborhood camera. I'm sure he did. Was he seen after the restaurant? I don't know. It just says that here that law enforcement searched almost every home in the neighborhood. Video recordings from nearby homes and a dashcam camera in Katie's car showed that Katie and Sebastian didn't leave the house after their return home from dinner. So the last known sighting outside of the home would probably be the dinner. I mean, that's the last point that they have on here. And that no other cars were seen coming or going from Katie's home during the evening and early morning hours of the night or day Sebastian disappeared. I don't know. Just, I don't know. What theory do you guys want to go with? I mean, I'm not really stuck on any particular theory. I just think that people have been very narrow-minded in this particular investigation. Hey, Sugar Cat, how are you? Okay, thanks, Sugar Cat. I appreciate it. Rachel said, yeah. What's here? A person of around his size was seen on neighbors' cameras putting rubbish in the bin. Okay. I don't think he came home from the restaurant. Wouldn't that get picked up on the car dash cam though? If he didn't come home from the restaurant, they're saying that the car has a dash cam. Wouldn't they know that there was only one person in the car? Like, wouldn't that be able to be ruled out pretty quick? Let's see. I don't have a theory. I have no idea. I don't blame anyone really. I just saying that like I think the answers are there. That what happens, it tends to happen in these missing people investigations. When everything ends up being uncovered, we all go, "Oh, that's what happened. Oh, the answers were there all along." And I'm guessing that's probably what's going to happen with this one when we find out what happened with Sebastian. Same with the little boy who went missing in Wisconsin. We all sort of knew what had happened, and then it finally got proven later on, and we all sort of were vindicated in what had happened. So I just figure that's probably what's going to happen here too. Rachel said, I remember SF talking about the cameras. I just wish we knew what happened to him. I just, you know, strange that he was able to evade everything that could ever pick him up. I mean, did he somehow know where all the cameras were? Is he a kid that was looking out for them for a number of weeks to make sure he could get out without being seen on the neighborhood cameras? Is that something he would pay attention to? I don't know. But let me see if there's another update for today. Let me go here. No, I don't want to watch that. There's so many AI-driven true crime freaking videos. Drives me crazy when I look up these true crime videos. Have you ever seen them and you click on them and they got that AI voice and they got like the overlay of the photos and video? It's like it's just AI slop. No personality behind it, no real discussion or insight into um into the case or anything like that. AI slop is what I'm calling it. Here, let me see. Three hours ago. Yeah. Yeah. So this was 3 hours ago. I think it's just relaying what we heard from the FBI. Yeah, we'll just play this video. WSM4.
Tonight, the FBI is renewing its call for any tips in Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. The teen with autism went missing from his mother's Hendersonville home. Happened back in February of 2024. The FBI shared details on the search during the days just after his disappearance. They say the search consisted of around 2,000 searchers covering nearly 44,000 acres. The FBI is now also offering a reward of up to $50,000 for any information on Sebastian's disappearance.
There you go. Hey, $50,000. It's a lot of money. If you know something and you can get him home, that would be great. And then you could claim 50 grand. That would be brilliant. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 sec. All right, sorry. I had to help someone. Someone was emailing me, asking me for some urgent help. Rachel said, "What information was new? Only thing I didn't know was about. I think the video cameras was the new thing." Kelly says, "Totally agree, Ping. I hate AI. It feels so big and lazy. YouTube's full of it, and it drives me crazy. I see all these videos, and you're like, who watches this? Why are you watching this? It is that stupid voice comes on, and then you just see images from like." I don't know, just random like stock images. They're like a family went missing, and they'll show you like a photo of a family. That's not the family that went missing. They went in a car, and you'll see some random photo of a car that has nothing to do with the case. And you're like, what is this? Why is this clogging up YouTube? It's driving it drives me crazy. But yeah, there you go. A year and a half now. Who would have thought a year and a half later we'd still be wondering where Sebastian was? I don't think I would have. I thought we were going to get this done a lot quicker when this happened. But yeah, that's the latest thing. FBI renews their call, gave some of their information, and sort of analyze their search effort. All right. Say he did go out for this game of tag. How come then in this 44-acre search that was done via plane, horseback, drone, four-wheeler, police cars, bicycle, volunteers, whoever else came in, SAR, all these people, and they couldn't find a shred of anything to do with Sebastian? If he just went and he got lost, even around the corner from his home, they searched this giant freaking radius, and there's never been a sighting. Even a year and a half later, we've gone through summers and winters, and people have gone hiking and around. Hold on, guys. All right, sorry. How come there's not been anything found of him? Like, that's what I would say. He isn't in the house. Are you sure? Should we tear the house down? Should we like demolish it just to make sure? We could do that. We could do that. It's 13. So young guy, looks a little older than he actually is. I think he looks a little bit older. No, 14. What are you guys talking about? Who's giving out wrong information? But yeah, I mean, the only thing I ever worried about, but they always said that they searched it, was if you go down the road from his home. I'll show you. His home is surrounded by sort of this giant river, but they reckon they checked it. So I'm going to show it to you. I think they live up here, but I'll show you the giant waterway. So you got this, the Cumberland River, which we did in that other case. Remember the other case where the guy fell into the Cumberland River in a different part of the Cumberland? But I mean, you have this massive water system that moves through this area, the Cumberland, and it spreads out into millions. I mean, they talk about how children are attracted to water. Even these tiny bits, see? The Cumberland River narrows in certain places. And I'm pretty sure at the end of his street, you cross a highway or a road, and you can get to this water area. It's not too far. If I remember correctly, they live up here somewhere. I gotta look it up, but they don't live. It's not like super far. Like you could get to it. If a kid fell in here, would they find him eventually? Would he eventually wash ashore? That's the only thing that's the only like outstanding thing I've ever thought about Sebastian's case, about sort of like misadventure. But they've said a few times that they've searched the Cumberland. But hey, people fall into water all the time, and they reckon they search it and they can't find them. So they questioned the trash man and searched the truck. That's good. This story is strange. It is a bit strange. Carly said, "Here's the thing: you can only search a river so much. A body would hang up on debris and stay underwater. Seen it happen. It's the only thing I've had outstanding in this case is that river, the Cumberland, and we saw with Riley, kind of like sort of around the same time as Sebastian, how difficult the search in a very narrow area of the Cumberland was to find him. It was like a week until they found his body, and it was way further downstream than they thought it was going to be. I mean, it's a possibility." Blaze said they found a house with 8 adults and 60 kids in Florida last week. Sex trafficking ages 9 to 17, boys and girls. I hope Sebastian is not with someone like that. I wouldn't think so, but you hope not. Wendy says finding someone in that body of water seems like an impossibility. Yeah, it could be. Riley Strain, yep, and his body was found outside of the search area. There was that lady in the UK who fell into this river. It's not even that big of a river, and they're like, "We've searched the river. We've brought in experts with sonar, and they find bodies, and they reckon that she's not in this river, and she was found in the river." So water can be funny like that, and it's about the only I mean, if you gave me an option to explain sort of what's been going on outside of parental involvement, this river, the Cumberland, would be a decent shot at it. Hey, Joe, what's up, brother? You're at a day one CrimeCon after party. All right. Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a good time, buddy. All right. I didn't know there was an after party. Go meet some people, Joe. Go meet some fun people. Yeah, Nicola in the UK. You know, they brought in an expert who was like their number one guy they call in when people are missing in water. And even he was like, I've searched it twice. I guarantee she's not in this river. She was in the river. So that's always get very nervous when water could possibly be involved. Carly said, I live in Niagara Falls. Sometimes it takes years for the remains to wash up. Granted, it's a Niagara River. Has a lot of movement in the Niagara. Yeah, I hope Joe's having fun. Who is the guy in the manhole? What? A guy in a manhole? All right. So that's your update for Sebastian. All we can say is I hope we get a resolution. It's been far too long, and I don't want it to turn into Summer Wells, which hands up anyone in the chat. Does anyone believe we're going to get a resolution to Summer Wells' disappearance anytime soon? Does anyone think so? Put your hand up if you think that tomorrow we're going to get a press conference telling us where Summer Wells is located and who took her or what happened to her. No. So I really don't want that happening to Sebastian. Tennessee has a really bad history with missing children, and I don't want Sebastian to end up in the same way that Summer Wells has become. It's awful. Because I think we all have sneaking suspicions about what happened to Summer. I think we think that maybe the official story we've been told is not fully correct. I'm not saying anyone's involved, just that what we've been told as the timeline may not be fully real. Danny said Caleb Harris. Caleb Harris is a good one too. Caleb, they were like, we've searched for him, and then he ended up in the weirdest of strange places. Ended up in that I don't know what you call it, like a pipe system for wastewater, and he was in this like tiny little area. It's like minuscule, and somehow his body had got in there, and he had died. Really, really awful. Joe said Megan is hanging out here tonight too. Okay, say hi to Megan for me. Say hi to her. Kelly said, have a great time. Give us an update later. Yeah, when you can, email me. I'll make a live stream so you can just jump on, and I'll put a link so you can just like tap it. But like another time, maybe tomorrow night. Yeah, have a great time. I watched the so if you want to watch CrimeCon, it is on Fox Nation. If you have Fox Nation, they are doing a live stream each day of CrimeCon. So if you are a subscriber of Fox Nation, you can watch it for free. It's on their app. So if you have Fox Nation, you can watch CrimeCon. SP Mama said we are all super couriers. You're a super courier? I'm sorry, I didn't realize we're in the presence of royalty. I'm sorry. I need to bow or curtsy, or I need to do something. I mean, I've never been in the presence of a super courier before. I mean, I feel embarrassed at my lack of respect. Yeah. Hold on. I want to check something. All right. Not the courier. That's right. Not the super courier. Danny said, you'll ever seen the documentary about the girl who went missing from the hotel in LA? The girl who was found in the water thing? Yeah. Yeah. We all know that story. Ended up in the water tank. Yeah. Yeah. The girl, the footage in I can't think of her name right now. But it's the footage in the elevator, And then everyone's like, oh my God, she's seeing a ghost and she's running from people. And there is a person outside of the elevator who is scaring her. No, like they think she had a psychotic break and ended up in that waterway. So water tank. Carly said she was at the Cecil Hotel. Yeah, very sad case. Very sad case. I want to show you something from Sydney, Australia. So I know you just got through your summer in America, okay? I want to show it to you. This is brutal. So do you guys remember a few years ago, I told you about a story about a guy who was attacked and eaten by a great white shark in Sydney? And it was on video and it was brutal and the shark was eating him, and it has happened again. This morning there was a report out that a surfer has lost his life in Sydney because a shark has mauled him, and apparently they're saying he has no bottom half of him, to the point when he was pulled out of the water, they didn't even attempt life-saving measures on him because he was so eaten by the shark that there was no point. He was already gone, and there was nothing that could be done. I don't think it was the same shark, but what beach? I will tell you. It was here. It was DY, out in DY this morning. So here, a surfer has died after being mauled by a shark in front of terrified beachgoers on Sydney's northern beaches. The man, believed to be in his 50s, was brought to shore by fellow surfers at DY Beach just after 10 a.m. on Saturday. He was retrieved from the surf and brought to shore, however, died at the scene, according to New South Wales police. The man is understood to be a local who is well known in surfing circles in the area. A shark alarm was triggered at the beach, which has a shark net installed. A witness told the Daily Mail they saw a group of people crying in a circle just meters from the water. Surf lifesavers advised the beach would be closed until further notice. So, yeah, apparently they did not even try to attempt life-saving measures on him because he was already too far gone. Really, really awful. It's been a while since we've heard of a shark attack like this in Sydney, especially a fatal shark attack. Like a fatal shark attack where someone didn't even make it to shore. Most times people make it to shore and they try CPR and they might pass away or get to a hospital and pass away. But this guy was so badly mauled that he just didn't make it. I like on the Daily Mail, on the Daily Telegraph, they've listed the shark attack under police and courts. What are you going to do? Arrest the shark? Is that what you're going to do? Why would it not be in breaking news? You weirdos. All right, hold on. I don't know about any video, but I can tell you that it was a 57-year-old man lost a number of limbs in the attack, including both legs and an arm. What kind of shark was this that ate his both legs and an arm before he could even get to the the sand? Poor guy, man. They say Superintendent Duncan said the victim had left behind a wife and young daughter the day before Father's Day. Yes, so it's Father's Day tomorrow in Australia. How very sad for his family. They say, I do understand that both him and his board disappeared under the water. There were a couple of other surfers who managed to see him in the surf and managed to get him back. But unfortunately, by the time that had happened, he'd lost a lot of blood. He had suffered catastrophic injuries. Brutal. I don't know how that would have happened so quickly. You would have to think it would have to be a great white to be able to take someone and do that to them so quickly. I mean, maybe a bull shark, but you got to think it'd have to be a white. because those white sharks will do that to people. Tiger shark? Do they have tiger shark in Sydney? I know they have white shark and bull shark, but Permaculture Kiwi said, looked in the eye of a white shark while cage diving at Stewart Island. That would have been scary. Carly said, that's the crazy part. Not many sharks are that aggressive for humans. Well, they often confuse them for seals, especially surfers who are in those I don't know what you call it, like the surfing neoprene type outfits. Can't remember what they call them. So sounds like the shark bit his surfboard in half. 2 sections of the man's surfboard have been recovered from the beach and taken for expert examination. How big was the shark that it could have bit the board in half? They say a local surfer who knew the group of board riders out in the water at the time said the shark had taken a bite out of his side. They think it was a great white shark. The group of surfers who saw the attack were not saying much. They were just trying to comprehend it. It makes you rethink what is important. These guys, their kids surf, their grandkids surf. You take the risk, but it hits close to home. Brutal, absolutely brutal. So obviously some relatives here who are very, very in shock and, very upset at losing a loved one to this type of it's crazy. It really is. Kathy said, I only go ankle deep now. Yeah. Blaze said, I used to go on a website that track great whites. They have names. Yeah, I know that website. They have they track them all around North America, and you can see them swimming up and down the east coast of America and into the Bahamas. And yeah, I know that website. Sean said, yes, but rare. It's pretty rare. Last fatal shark attack was 3 years ago, and that is the one that we've all seen. That was a guy who was swimming in front of the rocks, and the shark came up and bit him, and it was a great white attack. And the video spread online, and unfortunately, you could see his body and hearing him yell for help and things like that. It was really, really awful. But this one, hopefully, no cameras. Hopefully, no cameras. No one needs to see that. No one needs to see this guy getting eaten by a shark. They say 4 or 5 surfers pulled him out of the water, and it looked like a significant part of his lower half had been attacked. They did not work on him when they got him to the beach. So severe they didn't even want to work on him to try and revive him. He was just bled out. The poor guy bled out. Awful. So yeah, that happened this morning. You can see a lot of people on the beach around the time of the attack. So the young girl, I don't know who you're talking about. What young girl? You can't just give me that with no context and go, hey, you know about the dog? And you go, what dog? You're like, the dog. You know about it. You've seen it. Tell us about the dog ping. And I'll be like, I've talked about heaps of dogs before. You'd be like, the one, the dog. Carly said, I guess the bull sharks are I guess the bull sharks like northern beaches at this time because of the warm water. Possibly. Chipmunk said, I bought those magnets that are meant to keep away sharks. Let us know if they work. Gayla said she got eaten by a shark, a young girl. I don't remember a shark. Hold on. I got you. Yeah, the girl that was in Queensland. That was not in Sydney, it was in Queensland. Yeah, that happened a while ago. That was that teen girl who was killed. That was in February of 2025. That was Bribey Island. Charlize Zamuda. That was when she died earlier this year. The surfer, that girl that got her arm bit off long ago, that was a different girl. That was in Hawaii, I think, or Hawaii, California. I know who you're talking about. So yeah, that was breaking news earlier today. So very sad, right before Father's Day too. And I'm sure his family are. I don't know how you deal with that. Really awful. All right, one more update. One more update. So we have a $1 million reward on offer for the arrest and capture of Desi Freeman. Desi Freeman. Police announced the reward this morning, saying that they were offering this reward. So I'm going to take you there now.
Good morning, everybody. Detective Inspector Dean Thomas from the Victoria Police Homicide Squad. I'm here this morning because Victoria Police is announcing a $1 million reward in relation to information that leads to the apprehension of Desmond Freeman, also known as Desmond Philby. Now, as you all know, Freeman is wanted in relation to the murder of 2 police officers that occurred at Porpunka back on the 26th of August, only 12 days ago. Those members being Detective Leading Senior Constable Neil Thompson and Senior Constable Vadim Devat Hotar. Both those members were executing a search warrant at that property and were fatally shot. Also, that homicide, that investigation is now subject of investigation by the Homicide Squad, which also includes the non-fatal shooting of a 3rd member who was part of that search warrant. At this point in time, I will not be going into any details about the actual investigation itself. I will not be taking questions in relation to that. It's fair to say that at this point in time, and for the last 12 days, there have been a number of specialist police assisting with the search, and they are heavily armed and they continue to search bushland in the Porpunka area and that area surrounding the crime scene. And that will continue until we locate Freeman. As part of the effort to locate Freeman, this reward is being announced today. Now, as you know, it is not uncommon to issue rewards for murder investigations. But what that sets this apart is that this reward of up to $1 million is for information that leads to his apprehension, not conviction. So I stress to those that are listening that that's what this reward is for. It is for information that leads to his apprehension and not his conviction. It is the largest reward for an arrest in the history of Victoria Police. There is no doubt that $1 million is a significant amount of money for anybody, and it will have lifelong changes to people's circumstances. Again, if people are aware of his whereabouts, we ask that they share that with Crime Stoppers.
So there you go. They finally offered a reward for any information leading to the arrest of Desi Freeman, who's been on the run for almost 2 weeks now. In a couple of days, it'll be 2 weeks on the run, and cops have been no closer to arresting him and bringing him in. $1 million, that is a lot of money. Let's see if it does anything to change the state of the investigation in trying to track down this cop killer. So if you don't know the story, a couple of weeks ago, he was at his property. Police were doing a search warrant and weapons check. Search warrant, I think it was some sort of warrant relating to a historical CA, and then the other one was a weapons check. And when they entered a bus on the property, he opened fire, killing 2 officers and wounding a third, and then went on the run after stealing the fallen officers' weapons that they had on them. He took off into the bushland and has not been seen since. Yeah, it is just for the arrest and capture, not conviction. Normally, these rewards are for a conviction of a crime, say a cold case, that's been hanging around for a number of years. They will offer up a $1 million reward, but it is for a conviction of someone. This one is just to get him into custody, just to get him arrested and off the streets, basically, or off the bushland. Gayla said that'll get you a couple of boxes of eggs. Yeah, it won't get you much these days, but hey, $1 million. It's a lot of money. It's more money than I've ever had. So I wish I had the information to give them, but I do not. Yes, tomorrow is Father's Day, so that means I have to tell you I will not be here. I am doing something for family. I will be away at lunchtime. We're having lunch with family. So there will be probably no show tomorrow. And then we are back on Monday. Back on Monday for Erin Patterson's sentencing hearing. She'll be sentenced very early in the morning, Australian time. You can watch it live on this channel on Monday morning. And yeah, it's going to be a busy couple of days. Gayla said, what if he's killed and captured? Do you still get the money? I don't think so. I think he has to be arrested and brought in safely. Is that Sunday here? Yes, Sunday for you guys. So there'll be no show Saturday night as I won't be here. But there will be a show on Sunday where you guys will get to see the sentencing for Erin Patterson. Kathy said, Dog the Bounty Hunter should go find him. No. Dog the Bounty Hunter is now Dog the PR guy. He is no longer the hunter. He's just public relations. He basically hunts down, press releases. That's what he does. Diane said, Happy Father's Day, Ping. I know the kiddies appreciate you. I hope they do. Those fluffy mongrels, wherever they are. I don't know where they are right now. Beth was the smart one. I think so. Yes. All right. I think we're going to wind up for the night. Hope everyone's having fun at CrimeCon. I wish we had a CrimeCon in Australia, but we just don't. So, all right. Let me check here. Let me check the PayPal. Hey, Sean, I very much appreciate it, buddy. Have a good time with your family tomorrow for Father's Day. I very much appreciate it. Thank you to all the people who support this channel, whether it's today or in the past or other days. I appreciate it. I don't forget. I never forget the people who allow us to go to these trials and spend a lot of time reading through court documents to make sure I can surmise the information and get it to you guys. It's those people who support the channel that allow me to do that. So I appreciate it. Blaze says, good night, everyone. Yes, good night. I will see you tomorrow. No, I won't. I'll see you on Monday for Erin Patterson's sentencing hearing. And then that'll be it. That'll be it for Erin Patterson. That's it. We're done. That's it. Big trial, sentencing, other hearings. It'll be over for now. For now. We'll see what happens with the appeal. We'll see. Michaela says, good night. I'm trying not to think about CrimeCon because I want to be there. Yeah, hope everyone's having fun. Hope everyone's having a good night. Yes, hope everyone in the Southern Hemisphere has a good Father's Day tomorrow. I don't know if they will. They'll probably buy cat food and eat it. Should take bets if she cries. I don't think she will. But that's the thing. You guys will not see Erin. I think people are getting a misunderstanding. this will not be like court TV where you get like that close-up shot of Aaron Patterson while they read out the sentence. That's not what you're going to get. What you're going to get is a sort of head-on shot of Justice Beale. That's what you're going to get. It'll be him reading out the sentence. You'll hear a little bit of court process about like how it works. And the reason Justice Beale did this, hold on. Supreme. Here, let me get this. Let me get this and read it out to you before we go. So the Supreme Court put out a statement that they sent to us yesterday. Yeah. For the first time, the court is allowing a television camera into court to broadcast live. Justice Christopher Beale's sentence of Aaron Patterson will be live streamed and televised on Monday, September 8 from 9:30 a.m. Following a jury trial which ran from April to July this year, Miss Patterson was found guilty of murdering her parents-in-law, Don and Gail Patterson, her aunt-in-law, Heather, and she's also found guilty of the attempted murder of Ian Wilkinson. Justice Beale made the decision to allow the television camera to broadcast to increase understanding of the work of the court. They say here, Justice Beale says, given the intense public interest in the case, the broadcast will provide an opportunity to inform the public of the reasons for sentence promptly and completely, he said. News outlets that commit to streaming the sentence live and in full will be able to promote their broadcast in advance, and members of the public wishing to watch on television or news websites should be guided by individual station directions. A live stream will also be available. So if you wish to watch it, there will be a live stream available in the... I'll put the link in the chat. This is the court live stream. This is not the live stream that the news will do. This will not be the live stream that we will do. So the live stream that we're doing is coming from a different channel. This one is the court camera. So 2 different cameras will be used. The court camera and a television camera. At least that's the way it was explained to me. So Rachel said, do you think she would just sit there with no emotion? Yes, I do. She had no emotion when she was found guilty. So I don't expect that'll be any different when she hears that she's going to spend the rest of her life in jail. I think you'd be bigger shock at being found guilty than the sentence. I mean, I think she knows the sentence is going to be hefty. So let's see. All right. So there is your update from the court. There's a link to the live stream for Monday. I think you can get a if you sign up to the yearly and then cancel it, you get a 1-week free trial with it. So if you want to watch just CrimeCon, just sign up for that and then cancel it before the week is finished, and you can get it for free for CrimeCon. Gail said, do you think this will be the start of broadcasting trials? No. No, not at all. I think it was just the public was locked out of so much of the process for Aaron Patterson, all of the pre-trial, all of the trial, hundreds of hours of court time. I think how crazy the numbers have been for the Supreme Court, people lining up outside of the courthouse and hundreds of requests from media. And I think it was just they had to give something to show, I think, to give an insight to how all of this works. Like they say, justice must not just be done, it must seem to be done. So that this is part of that seen to be done part of that statement. So, they've done the justice bit. Now they're showing it to you too. It's part of transparency of the court. So that's what they're doing. Yeah, I have to use the VPN for Fox Nation. All right. I love you all. I'll see you later. Yeah. She's yeah. That was just fake acting. I'll see you later. Have a great night out there. if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you want to see more content like this, please subscribe, hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And I'll be back on Monday for Aaron Patterson's sentencing hearing. Good night, everyone. Have a great weekend out there. If you are Australian, have a great Father's Day tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Bye.